Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my Indiana Jones and the Great Circle perspective. Now, normally I do like a thumbs up or a thumbs down for any kind of review to kind of give you a general idea of what I kind of thought of this. This one was more the kind of middle. This really wasn't an Indiana Jones game for me. I didn't really enjoy it, mainly playing it. Story-wise, I was like, okay, interesting. It's set after Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're doing this whole kind of Great Circle kind of thing. Let's see where this kind of goes. However, the main issue comes in the effect of the gameplay kind of style that they did it in, with first person. Most of the kind of Indiana Jones games that I've cut my teeth on are Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine and Emperor's Tomb that came out. So those are more third-person ones and kind of work along similar kind of lines. Here, Indy is more of a scrapper, and you don't really fight the Nazis until you get into the stuff at the end and pretty much upgrade yourself to where you can kind of punch out and kind of stealth take out Nazis, but you're mainly forced to stealth mode with them. And that's where it kind of has my kind of biggest kind of issues. Story-wise, I'm fine with going through and looking about these kind of great sites, seeing why it kind of works on that kind of front, because we're in 1937. We're seeing how all these sites kind of get linked together, and it's like, alright. Emmerich Voss is our pretty much main antagonist for the Nazi side, and we're pretty much going around to kind of see what's kind of going on with this. Gina is this kind of reporter that is looking into her sister's disappearance. Let's see, Gina? Yes. I can see why people would be annoyed by her. My annoyance came into the effect when I went to Giza, and somehow she had pissed off the Nazis, and I'm reading some kind of thing, and then Nazi after Nazi is just coming after my ass, and I'm like, I didn't do jack shit! Her AI fucking did! Other than that, I didn't run into any kind of really weird kind of AI things that went nutty, and she didn't really annoy me too much, when we were finding her sister and kind of doing all that kind of hoopla. So it was mainly like a gameplay kind of thing. So the story is mainly, we see that Indy and Marcus are at Marshall College, and this big dude, played by Tony Todd, one of his last kind of performances, is looking for something, fights Indy, pretty much beats him, and then we come back in and we see him trying to pretty much puzzle out what was stolen, and seeing this kind of giant amulet kind of thing. Amulet? Let's see. Yeah, medallion kind of thing. So this then sets him off to going to Vatican City and pretty much linking up with one of his old acquaintances there, finding out this whole Nephilim order is trying to protect these stones from the Great Circle, and there's 13 of them, but there's 4 left to go, so it's now a race to pretty much get that, and they pretty much stow away on a Zeppelin, get to Giza, and try and find out what's kind of going on. Evidently, one of the stones was utilized by Gina's sister, who was working with the Nazis, utilized it in an experiment, and it teleported one of their warships into the Himalayas. So that's where we get kind of some other kind of stones. They then utilize one of the stones in the Himalayas to teleport. They teleport to Shanghai and then go to pretty much Siam to kind of get the next kind of one. And it's kind of fine. You're just going around fighting sometimes the Benito Mussolini's fascists, and then the Nazis, and then they kind of pop up back up again in Siam, mainly Mussolini's forces. It's just how you kind of go through, and the puzzling isn't really that complex. Now, I usually go through with walkthroughs and guides just to make sure that I don't miss anything. I want a good kind of playthrough on things. But most of these puzzles are just alright to me. after a certain kind of while, you can kind of figure out what's kind of going on, especially when they utilize Gina stupidly to shout shit at you and hints, which I like to a certain degree because you're utilizing what you've got in the game, but it gets really annoying with the frequency of, hey, 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 do this, do this, do this. I'm in the process of doing this. Please hold your horses. Like, there has to have been a better balance for that. Let's see. But of course, Gina gets captured. There's also boss battles, but most of them are just you punch shit. Like, you have a fist fight with Locust, who's Tony Todd's character. You have a fist fight with a blind Nephilim dude. That introduced some interesting kind of stuff because of light and dark and making sure that you don't step on coins to alert his ass and have him throttle your shit. The Anaconda one was kind of interesting, but they're basic. Now, I was doing it on medium because I've gotten to a point where most difficulty settings are just tuned to complete and utter insanity on certain things, and I don't want to spend days just sitting on something, bashing my head against a wall to do anything, because that's not fun to me. I want to balance challenge and also being able to understand what's going on in the story. And if I'm fighting something for like 3 fucking days, I'm just done at that point. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't. So it wasn't on that kind of level, but I'm just like, this is basic kind of boss battles. Like, they knew, like, in the other indie games there were boss battles as well, but it was almost like the first person stuff hampered them in what they could do, or what they thought they could do with these boss battles. Because also the ending boss battle where you fight Emmerich, as we learn that the stone circle is linked up to Noah's Ark, and then you're fighting him on top of that, and it's just a really weird kind of thing. It's just like almost a fighting game, and that doesn't sound bad on the surface, but when you're playing through it, you're just like, what? Oh, and I got this through Nvidia because of a graphics card that I had, so I didn't buy it or get gifted it or whatnot like that, and I'm glad that I didn't, or that I bought it or gifted, because this wasn't worth it for me. I had more fun with the Infernal Machine and Emperor's Tomb because of the kind of stuff that you kind of go around, the puzzles that you kind of figure out, the boss battles that you would have on those kind of ones. Now, granted, they're old as fucking shit. Sure, I get that. But they followed more of the kind of Tomb Raider kind of pattern, which is what I kind of seek out for an indie game. And this doesn't deliver that for me. I don't feel like I'm exploring much or having really interesting kind of battles and utilizing my wits and everything. I barely used guns at all because you're more forced to stealth in this. And I'm just like, okay. And it's the game design choice. Like, it's really not for me. And I'm fine with that. If you're looking for a more kind of stealth experience, this would definitely work out for you. Puzzle level, it depends upon what you like in puzzles. I don't think it's the hardest thing out there, so challenge-wise, if you're looking for a really challenging puzzle game, this isn't really it for you. I don't really, like... I even got, like, the premium edition in the kind of thing that I got, and I'm like, I'm not playing the DLC for this, because I don't really care that much to learn more. Because we've seen that Locust pretty much takes the Ark, and evidently you have to like do a secret ending, but he like evidently is in the South Pole and that he survived. Gina and Jones part ways for her to do her career and stuff. That's about it. You kind of go through Emmerich Voss dies typical kind of gruesome Nazi death because he was fucking with powers that he shouldn't have been fucking with. So that was kind of cool. Because it's your typical kind of indie kind of stuff. They do enough of the hallmarks of the indie stuff that works out. The side quests and everything, kind of a mixed bag. They give you a little bit of stuff, but I didn't really see. It's good that they have it there. but I don't like how I'm interacting with the game, and that completely and utterly tinges everything that's going on. I don't think they're bad, but I have to do the first person kind of stuff that just isn't my kind of cup of tea with this kind of game. Now, that's not to say I dislike first person games. This just is like, okay, so you're kind of stymied to certain kind of things that's going on. I actually think Resident Evil did it kind of better when they shifted to first person, and that's a pretty big thing of like, wow, if they followed that more kind of formula of balancing how to action and do puzzles and everything, I think this would have been a better game for me. But they made the game that they wanted, and that's all right. I don't think that there's anything really bad. No kind of weird technical states. I played this on PC, and there weren't any kind of weird crashes or destruction or anything that kind of went nutty. It's like, nothing like that happened. So, technical state, cool. I don't know. The cutscenes are great. It focuses more on style than substance for me. I don't need... Well, it doesn't need to be the prettiest thing, but yet it doesn't... I don't want it to burn my fucking eyes out of my sockets trying to, like, look at what's kind of going on. So, it's really the prettiest graphics you'll see, but it didn't pull me in with anything, like, had done before. I was interested more in, like, the Infernal Machine of figuring out the Tower of Babel, Marduk, and everything like that. The Emperor's Tomb, what was kind of going on with that one? This just didn't pull me in. I was like, alright. It's there. And that's why I do the kind of X kind of thing. Like, this isn't for me. This isn't working out. But there's no real thing where I'd say it's done shittily. Except for that AI that... Because when you're reading this stuff doesn't pause around you. So then there's Nazis coming after my ass. I'm like, stop this fucking shit. Stop this fucking shit. I don't even know how Gina fucking got over there to piss them off. Because... yeah, it was kind of close, but not enough for it to be like, hey, buddy, I'm coming to push your shit right back in. I'm like, I'm not close enough to piss you off. What the fuck? So, yeah, that's the only thing that pretty much went nutty doodah for me. So, yeah. Now, recommendation-wise, it's indie. If you're into indie and this sounds like your kind of cup of tea of the stealth, going around punchy and everything, and puzzles, go for it. Great cutscenes, the story will hopefully engage you, but it doesn't really go that in depth for like the characters or anything like that for me. So, since the gameplay's the biggest kind of hit for me, that's what kind of takes me out. Anything with the game, I can at least deal with a shitty story if I have fun with the game. And I'm like, okay, the story isn't really my thing, even though I really put a lot of emphasis on the story. But I've come more to the realization that if the gameplay hampers me, it doesn't matter how good the story is. I'm like, okay, yeah, exploring this great circle, all this things going on of them being interconnected in Noah's Ark. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But I really don't like how you've implemented the stealth and everything. So, those are my opinions on the game. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.